Dear students in grade 9, good afternoon and welcome to the English seminar for today, in which we are going to discuss two units, Unit 1 and Unit 2. Of course, before we start, let me introduce and welcome my colleagues here in the studio, Ms. Nagham Muhammad, an English teacher from Tartus Directorate. Welcome, Ms. Nagham.
Welcome.
And we have Ms. Basima Leslie, an English teacher from Damascus Directorate. Good afternoon, Ms. Basima.
Good afternoon, sir.
Thank you. You know, dear students, dear colleagues, we are going to study two units, Unit 1 and Unit 2. The time is really short. We have just 1 hour, 16 minutes to finish, to cover the most important things in these two units. So we will start immediately now with our colleagues here in the studio, and we are going to start with the grammar, because you know grammar is the most important, or the backbone and the cornerstone of the language. So we usually start with ladies, Ms. Nagham, but because both of you are ladies, so we are going to start with the youngest.
Of course.
Okay? So,
Yes.
Basima, you are the youngest here in the studio now.
I'm ready.
And okay, thank you. So you are going to start with the tenses. As you know, we are going to talk about simple
tenses.
present, present continuous, past simple and past continuous. Then after that, we are going to complete with Ms. Nagham the other things in grammar. But now, let's start with you, Ms. Basima. The floor is yours.
Okay. I will start by discussing present simple.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the uses of present simple.
Yes.
We use it to talk about habits and routines.
Yes.
Like, for example, they always go skiing in winter. Now, we use or we
The
add
laptop
s.
is.
Okay.
Yes.
We add s to the verb
Yes.
if we have a singular.
Yeah.
But we don't add anything, or we use the base form if we have plural.
Yes.
Like, for example, Tom and Mary play computer games at the weekend. We use play because we have two subjects, which
Yes.
is Tom and...
We have two people
We have
here.
two people, Tom and
Mary.
Yes.
So here we don't use S because we have a plural now. We are not singular.
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, we use it for something that happens frequently.
Yes.
Like, for example,
When we say
I always go to school by bus.
yes, I always go to school
by bus.
So here we have a frequent verb,
action.
a frequent action. I always go to school by
By
bus.
bus,
Very
yes.
nice. Can you give more examples in order to clarify the idea more?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Now let me talk about negative.
The negative.
Yeah,
Yes.
we use don't and doesn't for negative, plus the base form of the verb.
Yes.
We use don't with plural and doesn't with singular.
Yes.
Like, for example, I don't walk to school. I
Yes.
go by bus.
Good. I don't walk to school. I go by bus. Very
Yes.
nice. Yes.
He doesn't
What about
ride
doesn't now? Yes.
He doesn't ride his bike to school, because here we have he. He doesn't.
So
Yes.
he, she, and
And
it
it
takes or take
doesn't.
the S, or sorry, take
Doesn't.
doesn't with the
Yes.
negative. Yes. Okay.
And don't with the other
Exactly.
nouns,
With
like
other
pronouns, like, for example, I, we, you, and
Yes.
they.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
So here, please, now you mentioned two examples. They always go skiing in winter. So here we have a frequent action. Tom and Mary play computer games at the weekend. So also here it is a frequent action.
Yeah.
Here we have what we call habitual action,
Actions, yes.
or we have routine here, something that happens repeatedly, right? So, very nice. What
And,
else? This is about the simple present. I think it is very simple.
Yes.
It's very easy
Yes,
to
and we use
understand.
it with facts, or when something is always true. Like, for example, when I say I live in Damascus.
Yes.
No.
This is a state also. We use it for states.
States,
I
yes.
live in Damascus. Very
Or
nice.
I am a teacher, for example.
I am a teacher. He lives in Damascus. She lives in Damascus. We live in Damascus. And so on. Very
These are
nice.
personal facts, but she means also we use it for...
And we use it for facts.
Scientific
for example,
facts.
Yes, scientific facts, like, for example, the water boils at 100 degrees.
Good. Water boils at 100 degrees. Right. Very nice. We say also that the sun rises from the east and sets in the west. Right? So here rises. Here we have simple present.
Or
and
the sun
sets
travels
also.
around,
The
or
sun-
the earth travels around the
Good.
sun.
The earth goes around
the
the sun. This is also a fact.
yeah.
Very nice, very nice. Now, this is about present simple.
Yes.
What about past simple, Ms.
Now
Basima?
let's move
Yes.
to talk about the past simple.
Yes.
We use it to talk about finished actions or
Finished.
completed actions in the past.
Yes.
Like, for example, he moved to Canada when he was 6.
Good. He moved to Canada
When he
was
was
6.
six.
So this happened, a long time ago, right?
And
the
it's
action is over, finished.
Yes.
Good. Good.
My father bought a new car last month. This is
Yes.
another example. The children went to school by bus.
Good.
Here we have two verbs. We have sometimes we have to add ed to make the past
Yes.
for regular
Exactly.
with regular verbs.
So we have, sorry for interruption, here we have two types of verbs in
yes.
English.
Regular
Actually, we
verbs
have regular
and
verbs.
irregular
How
verbs.
do we change regular verbs into past?
by adding ed.
By adding d or ed.
Yes.
Depending on the end of the verb itself.
Yes,
Yes.
depending
If we
on
have,
the
for
end
example,
of the verb.
arrive, it ends with e, so we add only d.
Just D, only
Yes.
D. Then if the verb ends in a consonant, then we add ed. Like, for example, open, opened.
Yes, we
Here
have to
add
double
ed. Exactly, exactly.
consonant.
Exactly. What about the negative in the past? How
Here
do we use
it's
negative?
so
do we have
easy.
here don't and doesn't like
Of
simple
course
present?
not. Here
The
it's
past.
it's easier. We
It's
use
easier.
didn't plus the base form of the verb,
Very nice.
except for was and were, which become wasn't and weren't.
And weren't. Very
Yes.
nice. So here, the main auxiliary verb in this tense is did.
Didn't. Yeah.
Did in the negative is didn't.
Yeah.
Then we follow this verb, this didn't, this auxiliary verb, with what? With the main or with the infinitive, the base form of the verb, right? For example, he didn't go. We don't say he didn't went. No, he didn't go. So go is the infinitive, the base form of the verb, right? Very nice.
We
This
use
is about
it.
yes.
We use it also to talk about the way someone felt about something. Like,
Yes.
for example, when I say he was worried about the exam.
He was worried about the exam. Very nice.
Yes.
So here we are using was here. Was. Here was is,
Because we use an adjective after it, so we need a verb be.
Exactly.
That's it.
Because it is followed by an adjective. Worried is an adjective. Very nice. Yes. This is, I think, everything about
The
past
past
simple.
simple,
Very
yes.
nice. Let's now move to present continuous.
We use it to talk about something in progress at the moment of speaking or at the time of speaking.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like, for example, Sami is studying for the exam, or Layla is dancing and listening to music.
Yes.
The form of this tense is we put is are, is
Yes.
for the singular, I am, we, you, and they takes are, or they
Exactly.
take are,
Yes.
and the ing form of the main verb.
Yes. So here in present continuous, it is necessary. We have to use verb to
He
be.
is or are.
Is, or are, followed by the main verb
With the ing
ending in ing.
Yeah.
For example, here, Sami is studying for the exams. Sami is studying for the exams. Or Layla is dancing and listening to music. So here we have dancing and listening. So we have here the verb dance and the verb listen ending in ing.
form.
How do we make here the negative in these tenses?
It's
or in
so
this
easy.
tense?
We only add not to the verbs of the verbs to be. I mean, isn't, I am not, or aren't. We add not to the verbs to be.
Yes, okay. So here, again, please, in order to clarify the idea more, what
To
do we
make
do?
negative,
Yes.
we add not to the verbs to be.
Yes.
Isn't, I am not, and aren't.
Yes.
He is dancing, she is dancing, she isn't dancing.
She isn't dancing.
Yes.
He's studying, he isn't
isn't
studying.
studying. So
they
we
are
only add not.
playing, they aren't playing.
Yes,
And
we
so
only
on.
add not to the verbs to be. But
Yes,
here
okay,
I
go on.
want to talk about something that we don't use present
Yes.
continuous with the stative verbs.
Yes.
Stative verbs are verbs like, for example, verbs of thinking,
Yes.
like I know, understand,
Exactly.
think.
So we call these mental verbs.
Yes.
So mental verbs are not used with ing form.
Except
So we
for
use
the verb
it-
think.
Think here, think
Can
it
be a state or it can be an
can be-
activity
yes,
or an action.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's a
Okay, when I mean
state.
I'm considering something in my mind, so
Yes.
this is, I mean, I'm thinking.
Yes.
But when it means something like believe, so this is
It
a
is a
state
state
verb.
verb.
So yes,
It doesn't.
I can't
yeah.
say I am thinking she is good.
no,
No,
this is
I
wrong.
think she is good.
Yes.
But
I believe.
I am
It means I
thinking
believe.
about the question.
Yes.
Here we have something, something mentally happening.
Yeah.
An action, a mental action happening,
Yes.
which is
Our
thinking
brain is
about-
working here.
Yes, the brain is working here. Very nice. Very
With the
nice.
feelings, like, for example, like, dislike, hate, love,
Yes, yes,
prefer,
good.
etc.
Very nice.
With senses like feel, see, smell, see,
Yes, exactly.
and with
yes, very
position,
nice.
like, for example, belong and own.
Yes, belong and
own.
own.
Or even
Very
the
nice.
verb have, when it means own or
Yes.
belong.
Yes, exactly. So the verb have here.
It has different meanings.
Yes.
This is very
when
tricky for
when
students.
it means here for possession, when we use it for possession, here it is a state verb. I
Yeah.
can't say I am having a lot of money.
No.
I can't say
have.
so.
Yes, I say
I
I
have
have
a lot
a
of
lot.
money, but I can say, I ask you, what are you doing, Basima? You say, I am having lunch.
This
so
is a
here,
different
this
meaning.
is
It
the-
means
yes,
I'm eating.
Exactly.
Yes. So
Here,
the
yes.
the verb has many meanings depending on the objects we're using after it.
Yes.
So, but only when it means I own something, it is a state verb.
Yes.
And in other meanings, it is an action verb, like having lunch, like having a cup of coffee.
Yes.
Having an English lesson.
Right.
It means I'm studying.
Right.
Yes. So
Right.
it depends on the
Exactly.
meaning of the verb have.
Exactly, exactly. Thank you very much.
Thank
Now we come to, past continuous, Basima. What about past continuous?
We use past continuous with or for actions that were in progress at a specific time in the past.
Yes.
Like-
it was in progress at specific
It was
time.
going
in the
on. It
past.
was
It was
still
going
on at a
yes,
specific time
yes.
in the past.
not now, in
Yes.
the past. Otherwise, it becomes a present
Present
continuous.
continuous.
Yes, in
Like,
the
for
past.
example, yesterday at 6 o'clock I was reading a book.
Yes. Yesterday at 6 o'clock, at 6 a.m., I was reading a book about history, for example. Very nice. I was reading. So here, the form is, what is
Was
the
and
form?
were.
Was or were,
Was
plus
the verb,
verb,
plus the verb with the ing form.
with ing form.
Yes. We
Very
use
nice.
here was for he, she, it, and I.
Yes.
While
Good.
we use were with we, you, and they.
We, you, and they are used with were.
Yes.
But with was, with I, he, she, and it. Very nice. Please, would you give us some examples about that?
Yes. The last time I heard from her, she
Yes.
was working in Damascus.
Good. The last time I
heard
from her,
from
she
her
was working in Damascus.
Damascus.
Good, good,
When I arrived, my mother was cooking.
good. When I arrived, here we notice here, Miss Basima, that here we have two actions indeed. When I arrived,
This
This
is
is
the
past
mean
simple.
the mean
Here we have
action.
past simple. My mother was in
Was
the
cooking,
kitchen. She
yes.
was cooking. So when I arrived, my mother was cooking. So the action of my mother, or my mother's action, which is cooking, was in progress. She was cooking. She was still cooking when I arrived. So the second action, which is arrived, here interrupts the first or the action which was in progress. Very nice indeed. This is about past continuous. So we can have more examples. If you have more examples to clarify the
Let's
idea.
talk about the negative.
The negative,
Yeah,
okay.
we
yes.
only add not to the verbs to be, wasn't and weren't.
Yes. So we have wasn't.
It becomes wasn't, and were it becomes weren't.
Yes. Example, we say, he wasn't playing football when I arrived. He wasn't studying when his mother came.
It
Okay.
wasn't raining when I woke up.
Yes, okay. It wasn't raining when
When I
I woke up. Very nice. This is about past continuous tense.
Of course, here we don't use stative verbs with past continuous. We use them in the present, in the past simple.
Exactly. We have the same thing that happens to present continuous. The same thing happens to past continuous. Also, we do not use state
Stative
verbs
verbs with that.
with ing.
Yes, in general, state verbs are never
I
used
don't say
in continuous forms.
I am liking falafel, for example. I say I don't like, or I
Like or don't like.
yes, I like or I don't like. So there is no liking here.
Yes.
There is no loving here. There is no remembering here. There, or no. So here, this is called, or these verbs are called state verbs or static verbs. Actually, this is everything about the four tenses that you explained, Ms. Basima. Thank you so much for this explanation. I think the idea is very clear now, isn't it?
I think so.
I think so. Okay, good. Now, Ms. Nagam, we come to you now. Actually, here we have also, we are talking about the past, but in different way.
Yes.
Okay? We are talking about habits in the past
Yes.
using used to. So we are going now to talk about used to or didn't use to.
Okay.
So we have used with ed and we have used with didn't. So now you are going to compare between them and to see the difference, to tell the difference between used to and didn't used to.
Okay.
Yes, please. The floor is yours.
Before I start, I'd like to say something that
Yes.
I always say to my students,
Yeah.
that don't forget that in all languages, everything we do when we speak is to express messages.
Yes.
And the same message can be expressed in many ways, actually. And now if I want to talk about a habit, as she said, in the present, I use a present simple.
Yes.
Okay? In the past, also, I can use past simple to talk about a habit that I had in the past. But now, if I want to express that this habit no more exists or I no more do this action, I can use, instead of saying a long sentence,
Yes.
I can use only the phrase used to. And here we emphasize the preposition after it, which is an infinitive here, which is to. Used to. Used alone is not the meaning we want. We
Yes.
want to talk about only about used to. So together, they can express a message or a meaning. So why do we use used to? Actually, we use to talk about states or repeated actions in the past that were habits in the past.
Yes.
But the point is, the most important thing is that in the present, these habits don't exist.
Yes. It no longer happens.
No.
No longer.
We no longer do these things now in
Now.
the present.
Very nice.
So instead of saying, I did so and so in the past, but no, I don't do it, it's enough to say, I used to do this thing.
Good.
So the listener receives the message that I no more have this habit now.
Very
Okay?
nice.
Okay.
Good.
For example,
Yes.
let's talk
Yes,
about
yes,
examples.
yes.
I used to want to be a doctor, but now I want to be a teacher. So in the past, I wanted to be a doctor. Okay?
Good.
But when I say, but now I want to be a teacher, here what I want is different from the past. I no longer want to be
Good.
A doctor now.
Good. So here I changed my mind.
Which means the present is different from the past. My habit in the present is different from my habit in the past.
Yes.
This is no more my thinking for my future now.
Exactly.
Another example, Sami used to visit his parents once a week.
Yes.
Which means in the past he had the habit. So instead of saying Sami in the past had the habit of visiting his parents once a week, I can only use used to. Sami used to visit his parents once a week.
Yes.
Now maybe nowadays he
every month, maybe once a month.
Yes, or maybe he never visits them. Or maybe he visits them now more frequently, maybe 3 times a week.
Yes.
So this is no more his habit.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Maybe it's more, maybe it's less.
Yes.
Or
now
maybe he has changed it.
Yes,
Maybe, yes,
I mean,
exactly.
he has changed his habit,
Yes.
which is now, so the situation now is different from
the
past, which he used to do. Of course, used to is a past verb.
Yes.
So it's just, as Basima has just mentioned, when we talk about the past and we want to use a negative, we usually use the auxiliary verb didn't. So to make used to negative, which I mean when I want to say that this was not my habit in the past, so I can use the negative form of used to, which is of course didn't use with no ed or with no d here too, because after of course didn't, just like any other past verb, we don't
we use the infinitive, the base form of the verb.
or the base form. We take out the what we added to make past, which is d. So it is didn't use to. It's wrong to say didn't use to.
Exactly. So this is very important.
Yeah.
We don't say didn't used with D.
Yeah,
no.
this is wrong.
Yes, this
and
is
of
wrong.
course the student will lose marks if he says
exactly.
Didn't
it
use
is
to.
wrong. It is completely wrong.
Yeah.
So he must say, he has to say, he or she of course, we said what?
Didn't
use here in the infinitive. Very nice.
And of course after didn't use or after used to, we always should remember to use the infinitive of the main verb. So for example, as we said, I used to want, not I used to wanted.
Yes.
I used to want.
Here actually, because here we have to, so
of course the infinitive,
the infinitive
to
comes
here.
after to.
And now if I want to give examples about the past, for example, my brother and I didn't used to play video games. Of course, when we were little children,
when we
didn't have, maybe we didn't have video games, so we didn't have the habit.
It means that now
it was
we
not
have now.
But now,
so the situation,
we play a lot, for example. Okay?
The situation is different between
now from the
past and now.
We can, for example, when we compare also, for example, cities in the past and the present, of course, most cities change quickly nowadays. So, for example, I want to talk about my city. I say my city has used to have only one restaurant 10 years ago. But now there are many restaurants.
Many
so
restaurants,
the situation,
many cinemas, many theaters. So the situation now
has changed. It's different from the past.
From the past. Very
so
nice.
it is not only for actions, it's also for states. A
Of
habit in
course.
the past or a situation in the past which is different now in the present.
Yes, very nice. Very nice. This is about used to and didn't used to. Now we come to something else also. It is in the past, which is could and couldn't.
Yes.
Could is the past of can. Couldn't is
the negative
of could, which is also the past of can. Yes, please.
Of course, as you said, could is the past from can.
Yes.
And we know that can maybe or could has 2 meanings. It could express an ability and it also can express a possibility and usually for the future. So we use it for both an ability and a possibility. As an ability, actually, we use it in 2 meanings.
Yes.
Sometimes we use it to talk about a general ability. I may give an example about can first, and then we move to could.
Yes.
Okay, for example, if I say I can swim, so what do I mean here by a general ability? This is a general ability. which means
It
in
is
general,
ability.
yes.
I can swim.
In general, I can swim. So what does general ability here mean? It
Yes.
means I know. I know how to swim.
Very
Okay?
nice.
Not only now. Not only
In
now.
general, of
Yes, in
course.
general,
Yes.
I know how to swim, so I say I can swim.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the same goes for the past. So,
Yes.
if I want to talk about a general ability in the past, which
Mm-hmm.
is still now, or maybe I still have this ability. So I'm not
No.
talking here that it was only in the past. This is different from used to.
Yes, yes.
Okay? No, but something I could do when I was young, and maybe I still can do it now. In general, when we talk about general ability, it means I started learning, or I knew how to do this. For example, of course, examples make everything clear.
Yes.
When I say when I was 5, I could ride my bike.
Yes.
So does it mean that only when I was 5?
I was 5,
Yes, I could ride my bike.
my bike.
It doesn't mean that now I can't ride my
Yes,
bike.
exactly.
It means that I knew how to ride a bike
When I was
5
years old.
Okay,
Very
and I still,
nice.
of course, know how to ride a bike.
Exactly.
So this is a general ability.
Very nice.
But when we may also use it for specific occasion. I'm talking about a specific occasion. For example, yesterday I had an exam.
yes.
Okay, I say I could answer all the questions
Yes.
in the exam or in the test. This is a specific occasion I'm talking about. This is not a general ability.
Yes. I could answer all the
the
questions in the
questions.
exam.
Yes.
Very nice. Very nice.
Another example, a football team could win the match. It was so interesting, or it was so easy for them to win the match. So
Yes.
they could win the match.
The match.
All right. Or if we want to make negative, of course, can and could are modal verbs, which are also a kind of auxiliary verbs.
Yes.
So if we want to make negative from them, we usually just add not after these verbs. So can, we all know that
Can't.
can is used in the negative as can't,
Can't.
and also
Could.
can be used as couldn't.
Yes.
So I couldn't go to the concert because I didn't have.
What form of
ticket.
verbs come after, after?
Yes, I was going to talk about that
Yes,
too.
okay.
Yes, of course, all modal verbs have the same form
same
of the verb
rule.
after them.
Yes.
After them, we always use the infinitive. It's wrong to say the infinitive without to.
Yes.
It's wrong to say can't to go,
Yes.
should to go. This is
Yes.
wrong. We just use
Or he could goes.
yes,
Or
this
he
is wrong.
could swims.
Just
this
the
is
bear,
wrong. Yeah.
the bear form of the verb,
Yes,
verb,
yes.
which is the verb with no additions.
Yes.
With
the
nothing added.
infinitive.
Yes, the infinitive.
The zero form. It's
The
called
form.
zero
Yes.
form.
Maybe some students know what we mean by the zero,
Zero
form, but
form.
the zero form is
Or the infinitive.
Their
Yes,
form, yes.
very nice.
The negative, I couldn't go to the concert because it didn't, I didn't have a ticket.
Yes.
This is in the past. But when we talk about a possibility, we usually use could plus the infinitive form to talk about a possibility in the future. For example, it could rain tomorrow,
Yes.
which means it might
Yes.
rain
It
tomorrow.
could, yes.
It could rain tomorrow.
Here we have possibility.
Yes, which is not a strong possibility.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, but it is possible.
It is possible.
It is possible.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Now we come to something else. I think we have finished, and the idea also is very clear about could and couldn't.
I think so.
So we are talking about the past indeed, but now we come to what we call special verbs. Special verbs
Yes.
are used for obligation. So here we have actually 3 verbs. They are have to, or it is written have to, but
Yes,
it
but
is said have to. Then we have, must and should. Miss Nagam, what do you know, or how can you explain the use of have to and the negative of have to? What is the difference between have to and don't have to?
Yeah.
Here we have the verb and its, negative. Yes, please.
Okay. As I said a few minutes ago, I said we have modal verbs in English.
Yes.
So they have different meanings. For the ability meaning, we have already used can and could, for example.
Yes.
But when we are talking about the necessity of doing something, when it is strongly,
Necessary,
when it is
okay.
strongly necessary to do it, we use certain verbs. So we need a verb which gives the message of this strong obligation or a strong necessity, very strong necessity.
Okay, let's start with have to now.
Yes.
What is have to used for?
Yes.
Yes.
Have to and must actually have the same
use, maybe.
almost the same use.
Yes.
Yes. Have to is used to express strong obligation.
Yes.
And also must is used for strong obligation.
Yes.
Okay, but there is a difference between must and have to, and I know that a lot of students get confused to have the difference between them. To know the difference between them, actually, we just need to think about the speaker himself, the attitude of the speaker. When this obligation comes from someone, not the speaker himself, from someone else,
Yes.
we usually use have to mean it. You are obliged to do that.
Yes.
It's not a choice for you to do it or not. It's very necessary, and you have no freedom to do it or not.
Yes.
But it is not the speaker himself who sees this necessity.
Before we move now, let's have an example.
Yes, I'll give,
Clarify
of
this
course, I'll give
idea.
examples. Yes. So have to is used to express a strong obligation when the obligation comes from someone else than the speaker.
Yes.
For example, we have to wear a uniform to school.
Yes.
Here we are talking about a rule at school,
Yes.
which is, of course, we here means students are talking.
Of course.
So this obligation doesn't come from the students themselves.
Yes.
It comes from, from someone else, which is maybe the director of the school himself, or maybe from
We have
higher,
rules. We have rules. The Ministry of Education, maybe from the Ministry of
someone who
Education.
has the authority
Yes.
to oblige them. To oblige them.
Yes. So
Okay.
we have authority here.
Yes.
This authority imposes, right? Imposes
Yes.
that you have to do so and so. This is now about have to. So have to is used when the obligation comes from someone else.
Yes.
Yes, very nice.
Another example, in England,
Yes.
you have to keep left
Yes.
when you drive.
Yes, very
In
nice.
England, you have to keep left
Yes.
when you drive. So this is also a rule
Yes.
which comes from authorities.
Yes.
But
So here in Syria, we drive, we keep right when
Yeah.
we drive in
Yes.
Syria.
Yeah.
But in London, in England, they keep left,
Yes.
not right. So here we have
Only
a
in
rule. Yes, England. Here we have a rule to keep right, and there they have a rule to keep left.
Yes.
Right? Very nice.
Okay, now if we want to make negative from
Yes.
have to, we immediately should think about a completely different meaning.
Yes.
Okay?
Of course. Yes.
Okay, have to means you are obliged to do that. You don't have to means you are free,
Yes.
you can do it, or you can not
You
do
can,
it.
yes.
Okay?
So here it is optional.
It's optional, it's up to you, you do what you want.
Yes.
You can do it if you like, and don't do it if you don't
So
want to
you
do it.
are free.
You are free.
You are free to
Yes.
do or not to do.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
To do or not to do, you are free.
You are free to do
yes.
that.
Example.
Examples. You don't have to wear a uniform to university.
Yes.
At university, you are free.
Yes.
You can wear what you wear every day.
Whatever you
Yes.
like, you
Yes.
can wear.
You can wear
Yes.
anything you like. You are not obliged to wear a
Yes.
uniform.
Yes.
So don't
it is
have
not
to.
necessary
Yes.
to wear
It is
a
not.
uniform.
That's what I want to say.
Very nice.
Have to means it is very necessary, and don't have to means
Very
it's
nice.
not
Of course, we
necessary.
have to for plural and has to for
Yes.
singular.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't have to for negative with plurals.
And doesn't have
Doesn't
to for
have
singular.
to.
For
We say,
singular.
for example, Basima doesn't have to wear a uniform
Yes.
to university or at university.
Yeah.
Doesn't have.
That's
No,
Doesn't
it's
have
good.
to.
It's good. Okay.
But
You're a teacher, yes,
yes.
good teacher. Okay.
But if it is not negative, Basima has to wear. It's again has to, not has to. This is has to wear a uniform at school.
Yes.
Okay.
Very nice. Thank you.
Now,
very
if
much. This
we-
is about have to. Now,
Yes.
What about must?
Another verb which is also used for obligation, but in a different attitude for the speaker, it is must. Must is used to express a strong obligation when the obligation comes from you, or maybe not you, from the speaker himself.
Yes.
Okay? For example, let's imagine that
So
another-
here, sorry, Ms. Nara,
Yes.
here there is no authority.
No.
There is no authority here. There is nobody imposing on you or telling you to do or not to do. Here, the obligation comes from inside,
Yes,
from the
if
speaker.
it is the speaker himself who is
Yes.
talking about himself,
Yes.
it means he himself obliged himself or sees that this is
is-
strongly necessary to
Yes.
do. But let's imagine a mother talking to her son.
Yes.
Her son wants to go out. Sorry, maybe I need to
Yes.
make this clearer.
Yes.
The mother says to her son, okay, you can go, but you must be home at 8 o'clock. She has the authority to say to him,
Yes.
you must. It is the mother who sees that this is very necessary to do, and she says to her son, you must come home at 8 o'clock.
Yes.
All right, or at
Yes.
whatever. Okay, so he goes out with his friends, let's say, and he looks at his watch and sees that it's almost 8. So I need to leave. If he says, I must, sorry, I need to leave, I must be home
Yes.
at 8 o'clock, it means that he also himself sees that this is,
It is
very
necessary,
necessary to
okay.
go home. He can't make his mother angry with him. Okay, but maybe if he says, I have to be home at 8, it means that I'm obliged by someone else.
Exactly.
Maybe I don't like to be there, but I must. It means this obligation comes from inside him. It is
Exactly.
the speaker himself who
Yes,
sees that
yes.
this is very
Thank you.
necessary. Or I'm the one who has decided to go home and not
Let's
someone
have now,
else.
okay, more examples about that.
Okay. Another example, I must study harder. The exams are next week. This is
Yes.
someone who has great responsibility inside him,
Yes.
and the exams are coming soon, and this is a good student, so he says, I must study harder
Study
now.
harder. Yes.
If we want to talk about the negative, also we mean the opposite, exactly the opposite. It is mustn't, and of course must, mustn't, could, couldn't, always followed by the infinitive form
Yes.
of the verb. Mustn't is used to express negative obligation, which means you're not allowed to do
Exactly.
this, or you can't do this.
Yes. Actually, here is the difference between have to
Yes,
and must.
exactly.
So when I negate, when I put
Don't
have
or
to
doesn't.
in negative,
Yes.
it becomes don't
You are
have
free to do what you
Here
like.
you are free,
You are free.
to do whatever you want. But when I say you mustn't,
You are also not free, just like
yes,
must.
so here it is obligation, but in the negative.
In the negative, you're
So
not
here
allowed.
You
It
are
means-
not allowed.
Okay,
Yes.
this is, it has the meaning of you're not allowed to do that.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay, for
Yes.
example, you can't park your car here.
You mustn't park.
Okay,
your
or you
car
mustn't,
here.
sorry, you
Yes.
mustn't park your
Your
car,
car here.
here.
It is.
Okay.
It means here that you are not allowed to park here.
Yes.
Very nice.
So you mustn't forget to buy some food. There is nothing in the fridge, so
Yes.
this is obligated. This is very necessary to be done.
Yes, exactly. Now the fridge is empty.
Is empty.
There is nothing in the fridge, and you want to eat. Then you mustn't forget.
Yes.
Don't forget.
Don't forget
It is
that.
very necessary to
Not to
bring food
forget.
with you because there is no food in the fridge.
Yeah.
Very nice indeed. Thank you very much. Now we come to the last verb, which is should.
Yeah.
What about should and
It's
shouldn't?
also a modal verb of necessity. It has the meaning of necessity. It has the meaning of necessary.
Yes.
Okay? But it is used to express mild obligation.
Yes.
What do we mean by mild? It means not very strong. It's not strong. So we can use it also for advice. I can advise you to do something, but I can't oblige. I'm not obliging you to do it.
Now,
So I
let's
just
start
advise
with
you.
mild obligation.
Yes.
And then we move to advice.
Yes.
Let's give examples.
Yes.
About that. Yes,
Okay.
please.
You should go and see him soon.
Yes.
So there is someone which it's better to go and see him soon.
Yes.
So I say you should go and see him soon.
Yes.
It would be better
maybe he
to
is,
go
maybe
and
he
see
is
him.
sick. Maybe he is
Yes,
sick. So
yes.
you should go and see.
It is
him.
necessary to
Yes,
do.
it is a duty.
Okay. Some
right?
students think that it is not necessary. No, it is necessary, but you are
Yes.
free to do it or not.
Exactly.
And if you don't do it, something wrong may happen, but so it is necessary to do.
Yes.
It's a
Okay.
suggestion.
Yes.
It is suggestion here.
It is
I
some kind, yes.
suggest to.
I'm not obliging you, I'm just giving you a suggestion
Yes,
or a
yes,
piece of
yes.
advice.
It means here it would be better to go
Yes.
and see. And see.
This is
it
something
would be
better.
better. But there is no problem if you don't go. But
Yeah,
it is better,
it is better
if you
to
go.
do.
Very
Yes.
nice.
Another example, if you feel sick, you should see the doctor.
Yes.
We all know that when someone feels sick, he should go to the
You
doctor.
should.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Very nice. Don't be careful and stay at home.
Yeah.
If you feel sick, you should see the doctor.
He knows more than you do,
Yeah,
so
of
it's better to go
course.
and see the doctor.
Yes. What about shouldn't now?
Okay, of course, shouldn't is the negative from should.
Yes.
So you shouldn't smoke. It's harmful to health.
Yes. You shouldn't smoke.
I'm not obliging you, but my advice to you is you shouldn't smoke
Yeah,
because
you
this is
shouldn't
harmful to
smoke.
your health.
Very nice.
Yes.
You shouldn't smoke. Here it is a kind of advice or
Yes.
a piece of
It is necessary, but
It is, yes.
you can do it or not.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
It's
yes.
up to you.
There is no authority to stop you from smoking.
Yes,
But
it's on
I
yourself.
advise you, I give you a piece of advice that it is harmful. You should stop smoking.
Yeah.
Thank you
Thank you
very
so much.
much indeed. This is everything about, the grammar in these two units. Now, actually, in order to have some, practices or some activities about what we have already studied, let's move, to the activity book. We have page, page 8, right? Page 8. So page 8 in the activity book, we have some exercises about what we have already, or we have just talked about, mentioned. So here we have activity number or exercise number 2. Exercise 2, indeed. In this exercise, Basima, we have, a dialogue. This dialogue is not full. This dialogue is not full.
Yeah.
It needs to be completed, right? So here, let's start immediately with number 2. Write the dialogues in full. Use the present simple or the present continuous. So with the present simple, we need something, and with the present continuous, we need something else.
Yeah.
So let's start with A. Here we have an example, Basima.
We have here questions
Yes.
and we have some answers.
Yes.
So we will start with the first one. The example, what you study in history this year.
This
Here-
year.
Yeah, we
Yes.
have the adverb of time this year,
Yes.
which means that the action is in progress at the moment or at the time of
Yes,
speaking.
Yes, exactly. And here there is something very important, okay, which is when we have this week, this month, this year, okay, today, for example.
Now, at the moment.
Now, at the moment. Here it means that we need to use present continuous.
Yes.
Right. Yes, please.
So here it or the question becomes,
Yes.
what are you studying?
Good.
We have to add are and the ing to the base form study.
Very
It
nice.
becomes, what are you studying in history this year?
Good.
Of course, if we have a question in the present continuous, we have to answer in the present continuous.
Yes.
So, the answer must become, we are learning about ancient
Very
Greece.
nice. So the question is in a present continuous.
So
The answer should be or must be in the same tense.
Yes.
This is usually speaking,
Yeah.
okay? Sometimes we have some exceptions, but in general, it is so. It is like that. Yes, so what are you studying, okay, in history this year? The answer is, we are learning about ancient Greece. Good. Yes, what about number 1?
Let's move to the second one. What you do at the weekend? Let's move to the answer. I play volleyball every Saturday.
Very nice. Very nice.
Here
Good.
we have every Saturday, which is an adverb of frequency.
Yes.
So we have to use present simple.
Present simple.
Yes.
Because we have every day. So
Every
when we have
Saturday.
every
And the
day,
answer.
every month, okay, usually, generally,
Sometimes,
always,
yeah.
etc., once a month, once a week. So here we have an adverb of
Frequency, and
Good.
we have to
so here we
use-
have to use present simple.
Yeah.
What does the sentence become, please? Here?
The first sentence or the question becomes, what do you do at the weekend?
Good. What do you do
We
at
use
the weekend?
do because we have plural
Because
pronoun.
yes, because
You.
we have here present simple,
Yeah.
and we use do and does in a present simple.
Yeah.
So here we have you, and you takes do. So what do you do at the weekend?
Yes.
What is the answer?
The answer, I play volleyball every Saturday.
Good. I play volleyball every Saturday. Very nice. Good. Number 3.
Let's move to
Okay.
The answer
no
will be
problem.
number 3.
The
The
answer.
answer.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Let's move to 4.
I
think about starting a reading club.
yes.
That's a good idea. I read a good book at the moment.
Yes.
Here we have an adverb of time, which is at the moment,
Right.
which is used with present continuous.
Yes.
So the sentences must be in the present continuous.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think it becomes I'm thinking
Yes.
with am and ing with the past form.
Good.
I'm thinking about starting a new club.
Yes. Starting reading.
Starting a reading club, sorry.
Yes, a reading club. Yes.
The-
So I am thinking about starting, right?
Yeah.
I am thinking about starting a reading club. Yes.
That's a good idea. Here we don't have a main verb, so the main
Yes.
verb is one of the verbs to be.
Yes.
Is.
That's
a good idea. I'm reading a book. I'm reading a good book at the moment.
At the
Yes.
moment. So here we have at the moment, and with at the moment we use always present continuous at the moment. So here I am reading a good book at the moment. Very nice. So this is about simple present and the present continuous. Very nice indeed. Now, thank you, Miss Basima.
Welcome.
We move now to activity or exercise number 3. Okay, Miss Nagam, page
Yes.
9.
Yeah.
We have activity number 3. Complete the sentences use the past simple or the past continuous. Also here, we are going to see the difference in use between past simple and past continuous.
Yes.
What is the difference and how do we use these two tenses in English? Yes,
Okay.
please.
The first sentence, of course, after every sentence, we have 2 verbs between the brackets.
Yes.
To be used in the different tenses. The first sentence we have Nasser, and the first verb ride his bike when he fall off.
Yes.
Of course, when he fall off his bike.
Yes.
So here I have in this sentence the linking word or the time word when.
Yes.
And always remember that after when we usually use past simple
Yes.
if we are talking about the past, of course. Only if we are talking about
We
the
use
past,
simple
we
tense
use
here.
yes,
Simple
we
tense.
use the simple tense.
Yes.
So the sentence becomes Nasser was riding his bike when he fell off.
Yes.
So he was riding the bike was still going on, and then he
So here we
fell
have two
off.
actions.
Yes. One was
One
in
of
progress,
them
with
was
another
in progress, then another action comes and interrupts
Interrupted.
it.
Okay.
You know? So here, the action which was in progress is riding.
Riding the
He was
bike.
riding the
Yes.
bike when he fell off.
Yes.
So here we have two actions.
Yes.
The first one was in progress, and the second comes and interrupts it.
Yes.
Thank you. Number 2.
Number 2, I have 2 verbs, wait and start.
Yes.
So the sentence become, I was waiting for the bus when it started to rain.
Yes.
Remember that the verb start doesn't take a long period of time.
Yes.
She said that we don't use continuous verbs with the state verbs. we also need to say that there are verbs that can't move in time.
Yes.
Like the verb start or finish
Yes,
or
exactly.
arrive.
Yes,
It's just one moment.
Because
So-
they are very short.
Very short.
For
It's
example, wake
one.
up.
Yes, or wake up.
Yes.
So it's the time you wake up.
Yes.
Okay, or start, finish, arrive. I can't say I'm arriving or I was arriving.
Yes.
Okay, it's only one point at the time. Okay,
Yes.
or in the time.
One point in time.
Yes.
Good.
So always remember that the verb start can't be used in the continuous. That's first. Then also we have when.
number two becomes,
Number two becomes, I was waiting.
I was waiting. I
Yes.
was standing and waiting. What? Till or
For the bus when it started.
When it started to rain. It
Yes.
started
When it started to rain, I
Yes.
was waiting for the bus.
Number
Of course, I can say when it was
Yes,
when
yes.
it started to rain. I was waiting for the bus.
Yes.
Now we have in exercise 3 we have while. Also, after a while, always remember to use the continuous forms of the verbs. We don't use the simple tenses. So while I was thinking about my English homework,
Yes.
I had an idea for a story.
Good. While I was thinking about my English homework, okay,
Yes.
I had an idea for a
a
story.
story.
So here the main action was what? was thinking about the homework. This is the main verb, the
Was
main
doing-
action was thinking about
the homework. Yes.
Then the second verb, which is not the main verb or
Yes.
action, is what? Having
an idea.
Having an idea. Had an idea about something. Good.
Yes.
Number four.
We have the verb lie and we have here.
Yes.
And of course here is a verb of senses, which means it's a state verb.
Yes, a state verb.
Yes, it's not
It
used in the
never
present.
takes. It
Yes.
never
continuous,
takes.
it's never used in the
Yes,
continuous.
good.
So I was lying in bed when I had a noise downstairs.
Yes.
I was lying in bed when I had a noise downstairs.
Yes.
Number 5, we have and we have ring. Have here is followed by the word dinner, so it's not a state verb.
Good.
It means eat.
Yes.
So-
it is an action verb.
It's an action verb, yes.
Yes.
It's not a state
verb.
Yes. So as I was having dinner, the phone rang. As I was having dinner,
So I was
rang.
having dinner.
I was eating
Okay,
when
so
the
the
phone rang.
main action was having dinner.
Yes.
Then suddenly, the telephone rings
Right.
or rang. So here we have an action that,
That interrupted
interrupts
another action that was going on.
It was going on, or it was in a progress.
Yes.
Very nice. Good. So as I was having dinner, the phone had.
and of course for the word
phone
as
rang.
here means while. As here means
Yes,
while.
yes.
It has the same meaning as while.
While I was or as I was. Very nice. Thank you, Miss Naha. Now, we come also to number 4. Exercise number 4, Basima, I think is also very
It's more
important.
general.
Yes, it
It's
is
about all
more
tenses.
general. Yes, good. What about number 4 here, please? Complete the postcard, circle the correct verbs.
Yes, we have more than one tense here.
Yes.
The present simple, present continuous, past simple, and past continuous.
Very nice.
Now let's start with the first one. Dear Abdullah, this means that the speaker is, or the person who
Is
has-
writing.
who is
or-
writing
yes.
is writing at the moment.
At the
So
moment. Very
here
nice. Good.
we will start with the first one. I enjoy, or I'm enjoying. Of course, I'm enjoying my holiday.
Because he is writing now about his experience.
Yeah.
Now I am enjoying now at the moment or these days. So here he is writing about his experience now. Good. So here we don't say I enjoy. We say I am
And
enjoying.
also we have holiday. Enjoy means repeated. So he's talking about only one holiday. So this is not repeated. Okay, it's a period of time that he is
Yes,
living at
yes,
the moment.
okay. Quickly, please.
It means
yes.
that it's a temporary action.
Yes.
Of the,
Yeah. Number
permanent
two,
one.
I'm enjoying.
We visit or are visiting all the famous places. Of course, here we are visiting all
Visiting.
the famous
Yes,
places.
yes.
Now, yesterday, which means that I want
Here we
to
come to
use.
yesterday. It is
So,
in the past.
it's a different
Yes, we
key now.
have
Yes.
to change into past simple.
Yes.
We went, or we're going, of course, we went
Yes.
to Covent Garden Market. Here you always, now here we have an adverb of frequency, so we
Yes.
have to change the tense into simple present. So we have to choose see, not are seeing. And of
Yes.
course, see is a stative verb, so
Good.
we don't
We
use
don't
it
use
with
it
the
in
ing
ing.
form.
Good.
Yes. See, lots of interesting actors. One man was wearing silver clothes.
Yes.
Here I'm talking about an action that
Yes.
was in progress at a specific time, so I
Yes.
have to use the past
The
continuous.
past continuous. This man, actually, who was wearing silver clothes or cloths, was standing or
So
stood.
no, of course, was standing.
Oh,
He
yes.
was standing.
Was
yes.
standing.
So still, it means that he isn't moving.
Yes, he isn't
Yes.
moving, or he
I
wasn't
thought,
moving.
or I was thinking he was a statue.
A statue. I thought, or I was thinking.
I thought.
I thought.
This is an this is a stative verb.
Yes, this
Yes.
is a state verb. So I thought from think. Think means believe. I
Yes.
believe that it was a
He
statue.
was a statue.
Good.
I walked or was walking away when suddenly he was putting his hand on my
Yeah.
shoulder. Here we have two actions. One of them was in progress.
Yes.
When the other one come and interrupted it.
Yes.
So I will use I was walking away when suddenly he put his hand on my shoulder.
Yes.
So the action which was in progress, I was walking away.
Yes, good.
When suddenly he put,
Yes.
this is the action, this is the verb or the action that interrupted my
Good.
first
The
one.
first action, which was walking. Yes,
Yes.
good.
Okay, now let's
When
continue.
suddenly he put his hand on my shoulder,
I screamed or was screaming. Of course, I screamed.
I screamed. Very
Yes.
nice. Yes.
Then I saw or was seeing. Of course, we don't use see or
See
see
in
is a stative
ing.
verb, so we have to use
Good.
so.
Good.
Then I saw everyone laughing. I felt or was feeling so embarrassed. Here he is expressing the feeling, and this is a stative verb here. We have to use I felt so
Okay.
embarrassed.
Thank you very, very much indeed. Thank you, Basima, for.
Thank you.
Actually, here we have what we call a revision of the four tenses that we, already studied. Simple present, simple past, past continuous, and present continuous. So in this exercise, we had four, tenses. Actually, the time is very, very short. Let's have just Ms. Nagam, one sentence in exercise number 5.
Yes.
Complete the text with used to or didn't used to, and one of these verbs. We have not to drive, leave, play, ride, walk, not watch.
Okay.
Yes, please.
When my father was a boy, he used to live in a village high up in the mountains. They didn't used to watch TV. At night, they used to play games or read. They didn't use cars. They didn't used to have cars, to drive cars. They used to ride horses into town
Yes.
to do the shopping.
Thank you very much, Ms. Nagam,
Yes.
and I'm sorry
Thanks.
for interruption because
No, because we don't have too much time.
The time is over now.
Yeah.
Actually, I'd like to thank you very much
I'd like to
for
thank
your
you.
nice participation in this seminar. Dear students, dear colleagues, this is now the end. We come to the end of this seminar. Until we meet again, this is Karim Assabi greeting you from the Syrian Educational Channel in Damascus. Thank you. Goodbye.